Hello, everyone. To those just tuning in, welcome. To those who've been checking out sessions throughout the day, welcome back. We hope you're enjoying the content and looking forward to more awesome presentations coming up. A big thank you to our partners and speakers for helping us deliver a fantastic program. A quick reminder to join our Slack channel to interact with other attendees and join selected speakers for Q&A. You can find the link in the menu at the top of this page. Happy viewing.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me virtually. My name is Michal, and I'm a Senior Product Manager at Microsoft, currently based in Tel Aviv, Israel. For the last 3 years, I led a PM team in Cortana, and recently joined Microsoft Teams, leading real-time collaboration in chats. For those of you who are not familiar with Cortana, she's Microsoft's AI assistant, helping people complete tasks using voice or natural language. Cortana can make calls, join meetings, or play music, amongst dozens of other capabilities or skills. Today, I want to talk to you about AI, unsurprisingly, but more specifically about the future of AI and how it's not exactly what you think it is. Now, that is important because the way people perceive and think about AI has a huge effect on the way we end up steering the market, which brings me to my starting point, what I like to call the Hollywood fallacy. This is the way movies, TV shows, and other forms of entertainment influence and anchor the way we see the world, and in our case, the way we see artificial intelligence. After all, what comes to mind when you think of AI? I'm sure for many of us, AI means algorithms and research and the daily work we do as product managers of innovative software. But if we close our eyes and give our brain permission to go wild, our thoughts will try to grasp at anything tangible, which in many cases ends up being pop culture's version of AI. Some of us might imagine an optimistic version of AI, like the captain of the Enterprise talking to his intelligent ship as they boldly go where no one has gone before. Others have more pessimistic vision, anxiously waiting for the machine uprising. Either way, our brains have almost been trained to associate AI with flying cars or humanoid robots, or flying cars being driven by humanoid robots. Now, there's nothing wrong going after those big, crazy concepts, until you realize that 85% of AI-based projects never make it to market. 85%. There are many reasons why this happens, from management changing priorities to insufficient datasets. But there's another fundamental issue that sets this project for failure before they even start: going after the wrong opportunity. Because for us as product makers, identifying the right opportunity is the key to shipping impactful experiences. And this part is key, because it's not just about building the coolest stack or solving the most complicated problem. Impact is about providing the most value to the largest amount of people. And I know this might sound counterintuitive, but as we said before, the siren call of cool technology can pull us towards the wrong direction. After all, who wouldn't want to work on a self-driving refrigerator that knows what you want to eat before you're even hungry? But when we dig into the numbers, we see that would add a very little value and to a very small number of people. So when we at Cortana were looking for our next big investment, we were using this formula to find a product that is used by many people, used often, and has potential to deliver real user value. So rather than going cutting edge, we went old school and decided to invest in email. It might sound counterintuitive, building AI for email, considering email technology really hasn't evolved much in the last 30 years. But that is exactly its biggest strength. Even today, with the market saturated by communication tools, email still plays a role, a significant part of our workplace communication. And as far as any product goes, email is perfectly positioned for success. Think about it. It's probably the first thing in the morning you check before social media updates or the news. You're very likely to have notifications enabled on mobile and desktop devices. Email is heavily infused with your calendar, from setting up meetings to sharing notes at the end. And it acts as a productivity hub, holding work communication, files, commitments, tasks, and more. And being email, it means basically there's nothing to install or update. There is no barrier of entry at all. And if you're still not convinced, just look at the numbers. On average, office workers check their emails over 70 times a day. 70 times. That's about once every 8 minutes. People also spend a quarter of their day on emails, making it their primary work tool. And email's reach is also unmatched, with over 150 million users in Outlook Office 365 who are just a switch flip away. So as we said, email is an amazing product opportunity, but it does have its drawbacks. For one, emails are entirely unstructured and unindexed. Data-wise, emails are not much more than a stream of text blocks, mishmashing information, tasks, commitments, and files. Email is also unprioritized. Our inbox is defaulted to chronological view, so we tend to go straight to the top of the pile and tackle what's recent rather than what's urgent or important. And to be honest, email is simply overwhelming. We spend so much time and energy just to keep our heads above water that we end up missing or forgetting a lot of important information, eventually letting people down. We figured there's a better, smarter way to make sense of your inbox. So we took Cortana's ability to understand and filter natural language and created Heads-Up Email, an email reminder that surfaces tasks and files relevant to the user's upcoming day, powered by AI models that identify and extract commitments, requests, follow-ups, and files from email communication. Basically, each day we scan your inbox, run the text through a series of algorithms, extract key pieces of information like commitments, requests, follow-ups, and files. And we aggregate those in one place, delivered to you when you need it, first thing in the morning, right along your coffee and bagel. But we don't send you the coffee and bagel, which ends up looking like this. A beautifully formatted email sent by Cortana, clearly outlining the important things you should address today, so nothing falls through the cracks. So how do we do it? First, we need to define what is a task. Well, within the context of the email communication, a task is identified as a promise statement between correspondents. Now, notice that promise statements are vector. They have a direction which changes their context and how we treat them. This means that if I send an email to someone saying I will do something, for example, I will send you the deck for review, that would be considered as a commitment, as I'm committing to performing a certain action. And if I receive an email where someone asks me to do something, like please submit your slides ASAP, which I've received quite a few times over the last few weeks, that would be captured as a request, as someone is essentially assigning me a task over email. Now notice that when I assign a task to someone else, for example, please share your finished report, they would be assigned a request item in the recipient's heads-up email, while I will see a follow-up item reminding me to close the loop on that task. So now that we understand the framework, let's dive into the model. Because on the surface, it might sound relatively easy to recognize promise statements. Just find all the I will, please send, or other usual suspects. But if we only follow these simple rules, we could get all kind of funky results. For example, let me know if you have any questions. Grammar-wise, this sounds like a task. Someone is clearly asking me to do something, let him know. But you probably would be quite surprised to see this on your to-do list. Or this one. Please ignore my previous email, where the language of the message is clearly asking me to do something, but ignoring an email is not something I need to be reminded of. Or this actual item we captured. I will take the ring to Mordor, which apparently came straight forward from Frodo's inbox. We can go on real-time examples, but the point is that extracting the tasks from natural language is not a straightforward process as it might seem. So how do we do that? Our extraction process consists of 5 basic stages: normalization, pattern recognition, classification, people assignment, and assembly, which together works as sort of a funnel, starting with large amount of data and slowly filtering and focusing on specific sentences until we extract the highest confidence highlights into a separate email. Now, let's quickly explain what each stage does by going over a real email. Here's an email I sent to Herman, a colleague of mine, being very appreciative for his feedback. Now let's see how Cortana extracts tasks from this text. First, we normalize the text content of the email. This includes unpacking contractions. So your become you are, and isn't becomes is not. And we translate acronyms, so IMHO would become in my honest opinion. In this case, we've detected a few contractions. Your becomes you are, didn't becomes did not, and FWDing becomes forwarding. Now that we have a normalized email, we will go into the next step, pattern recognition, where our aim is to construct a list of possible candidates to be tasks. So in this email, we identified 4 possible candidates. You can see how each one grammar-wise is structured as a task. And we will use this list to fit into the next step, which is classification. Here we are using neural networks to filter non-candidates and classify whether it's a suggested task or not. So if we look at our candidates, we as human intelligence can quickly grasp and see that the first and last items are suggested as a tasks to be completed, while the middle 2 are only structured as a task, but they don't actually suggest any follow-up action. So at this stage, our algorithm would filter out the non-tasks and will leave us with 2 high precision items. Next is people assignment, where attach each suggested task to a person. The first item was sent by me using a language that suggested self-assignment. So we will attach this item to me as a commitment. The second item is addressed to a run. So this will be assigned to him as a request. And I will see the same item in my heads up as a follow-up. The last stage is assembly, where our goal is really to generate the entity itself. Extract a specific string to display, highlight what is needed, generate the relevant context. So those items will be formatted into a digestible item, complete with context and follow-up actions, which then be attached to the final email. So now that we have the email, let's talk about when do we actually send it. We would usually send a heads-up email with item extracted on the previous day. So if someone emailed me about a task on Monday, I will be reminded of this on Tuesday morning. It is very important for the experience to be timely. But sometimes we can use the context of the email to infer its deadline. So we can surface tasks when they're most relevant. So if someone wrote, I will send you the deck by Friday, we will remind them about it on Thursday. We can also extract text associated with a meeting. For example, a reply to a meeting saying, I will go over this design in the meeting. and surface that as meeting prep the day before the meeting, as well show related files. This helps the user understand why we choose to surface this specific task on the day we send it, associated to his meeting. So I want to talk with you about a few quick learnings that will hopefully help you build better AI products in your own work. The first one is that building AI model requires relevant data to train on. After building a model to extract tasks from emails, we figured there's an opportunity to apply this on meetings and extract action items. However, tasks are conveyed in different types of communication, and email data looks nothing like automatic transcription for meetings. We mentioned that emails are sometimes long and usually unstructured. However, the sender of the email had the opportunity to review it before sending, to rephrase, to edit his claims, to edit it so his claims are more clear. Needless to say, he or she actually typed the words. Meeting data, on the other hand, is generated through automatic transcription, which, although significantly improved in the last few years, is still far from being perfect. Meeting transcript data includes freestyle speaking with people interrupting each other, especially in Israeli meetings, with speech to text that is not very reliable on its own, and mainly with long sentences that often are not even grammatically correct. And on the other hand, many incomplete sentences. Look at this example. We have a lot of repeated words. Naturally, task extractions from emails or meeting data require two distinct approaches with dedicated models. Great UX is a must. Whenever we create a new experience, we also ask our users to change the way they do things. We obviously believe we are creating a better experience than the current behavior, but changing someone's habit is unbelievably tough, a tough task. Just ask anyone who tried to lose weight or start jogging. So rather than going against people's nature behavior, try identifying existing habits to harness. For us, rather than building a whole new canvas or experience for task reminders, we harness people's existing habits, then enhanced it with AI. So we decided to meet our users where they already are, in their day-to-day existing flow. If it's using email to surface tasks from email, or virtual meetings page on Microsoft Teams to surface action items found in the meeting. This is a very preliminary prototype we did with Teams. Most of AI products provide personalized recommendations. The word insights is used often to describe AI outcomes. But what will the user do with an insight if it's not actionable? How will the user apply those insights on their work? When we surface tasks, we also provided quick actions to act upon them, from checking them off when done, delete if not relevant, share with other people, and add them to other tools they are using, because it's not a one-size-fits-all. Which brings me to my next takeaway. Actions can also serve us to collect valuable real feedback from users to train our models. Yet, this is not an easy process. First and foremost, we need to preserve our user privacy. This means that we can't look at any of our collected data, that we train our models eyes off. There are also many challenges when relying on users' engagement to train a model or even evaluate its online performance. Unlikely Smart Reply, for example, where you can precisely know how well were the suggested sentences from click-through rate. Here, users can benefit just from reading the heads-up email without taking any action or providing actual feedback. This means that suggestions with no engagement can be treated as negative feedback, as they might have been great suggestions that the user acted upon. In addition, there are users that provide only negative feedback or only positive feedback. Is this engagement reliable enough to train our model? Should we assign all feedback in the same weight? These are things to consider. As a product manager of AI products, I want to provide my users high quality products so they'll trust our recommendations. But in task management, even us as humans make mistakes. We forget to mention or a task, or worse, assign it to the wrong person on meeting notes we send after meetings. So here we encounter a trade-off. If we raise the bar of our algorithm to return only what is 100% precise, we risk in not getting any result. On the other hand, if we compromise on precision to recall more results, we risk in getting wrong results. But it's not all or nothing. Like every complex problem, UX can help. We limited the number of results to 5. Beyond it, the email would be too long to the user and difficult to digest. We ordered the results based on their confidence and conveyed why we choose to present these specific results we found by providing an ability to see more context in quick link to the original email, of which we extracted the task from. Heads Up was a tremendous success, and today is being rolled out as briefing email in its late version. We got people simply loved Heads Up, and trust me, it's not easy to get people excited about yet another email in their inbox. I've gotten so reliant on my Cortana Heads Up emails to help me close the loop on action items. This is a superb feature, and I love what you guys are doing. This is supercalifragilistic. Wow, I've never used Cortana much, but this is a killer feature. So we not only created a product people love and use, we were able to cement user habits based on AI product, which is the holy grail of product design. Thank you for listening, and you're welcome to get in touch. Bye.